Hello, I'm Matt Holscher with Parent Marriage Coaching, and I'm here with an update on how to prepare your home for reopening the economy with COVID-19. Now, hopefully, we've all gotten past phase one and we've gotten comfortable wearing these masks and always having a couple of squirts of hand sanitizer around. I just touched the camera, so I guess I better sanitize myself, right? We got this part down, but since you're 6 feet away, I'm going to take this off. And now we got to get ready to open our homes because we don't have a vaccine. Probably not going to have one for a while, but we can't just hide from this. And so as we reopen our lives and go back to work, we're probably going to have more exposure to the virus, and we need to be ready in our homes. And so I've done a lot of research on this question about what I need to get ready and to prepare for. And I wanted to share that with you because there are some things that I haven't read anywhere else. And it's kind of cutting edge, and I'm going to be open to changing this. And if you have any suggestions, definitely put them down in the comments because I want to share this and be a resource for everyone. And if you appreciate the video, please hit the like button or share some love because I do appreciate that. So the first thing we're going to need is a symptoms log. And if you look down in the comments section, I'll post a link to two different ones. One is from the Centers for Disease Control that tracks you twice a day for 14 days. And it's a good start, but it's not as detailed as the second one I like better that actually came from the Henry Ford Foundation. And it's actually a checklist for patients released from the hospital recovering from COVID-19 and how to keep track of themselves and what they need to keep track of to see if they need to come back to the hospital. And I really like that one because it answered my question, because I want to know as a parent and leader of my family, when do I call for help and when do I have this under control for myself? And so I was hoping you probably have that same question, and I wanted to address that. So the first thing is the symptoms log, and I like the Henry Ford one. Even though it's only for 7 days, it's more detailed because you're keeping track of your heart rate, your pulse, your blood oxygen level. See, that's the big one that we're going to talk about in just a minute. And you're going to keep track of your feelings and just whether you're feeling good, okay, or worse, so that you have some data. Because we all want to make decisions with our feeling and we all think we're perfect, but keeping track of data and seeing the patterns really makes a big difference when you have to make a hard decision. And I'm afraid that we are going to have hard decisions to make as family and as a country, and I want to help you get ready for that. So you need a few tools. The first one you probably already have, a thermometer, right? I have the one that goes in the ear with my kids, and that's good enough for my family, but for $65, I'm gonna upgrade on Amazon. They're back in stock, and I want to order one now before they go out of stock again and more people realize they need them. But I'm gonna get the infrared one that you can just zap them like a gun and hit them on the head, see where they're at, and keep them at a safe distance. Because when my kids go back to school, which is probably looking like next year, but at some point they're gonna go back, and schools are germ magnets. So I want to be ready for that eventuality. So the first thing is the thermometer, right? You should be taking your temperature twice a day to check in on your health and your family's health, right? The second thing is a really interesting tool, which is your blood oxygen level. And the tool you use for that is an oximeter, and you can buy one on Amazon for, again, $65 for a tiny little unit. But I discovered most likely you or someone in your household already has one. Where is it? It is on your cell phone. Now, I don't have an iPhone. I know they have them too, so iPhone users, you're going to have to figure this out for yourself, but you're smart people, and Steve Jobs made it so easy for you, you don't even have to think. So I know it's easy for you, but for us poor Galaxy, Samsung users, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, right? You actually have a blood oxygen sensor right here on the back of your Samsung Galaxy. This is a 7. I know they have it. I think the 5 had it. The only one that doesn't now is actually the newest, the S25G. They took it off. So don't buy the latest cell phone, I guess. But luckily the older ones all have it. Now you have to download the Samsung Health application, and they took off the individual blood oxygen reading, but they kind of hid it. I think it's more for liability, so this isn't a medical device and it's still a cell phone and it doesn't get regulated the same way. I don't know the whole backstory, but now it's under Stressometer. So when you look at stress management, it'll ask you to measure that. So when you tap the measure button, it's going to ask you to put your finger right here on the sensor. So now it's turning all nice and red, and you can see that it's starting to take my stress management level, which is really just taking my blood pressure and my dissolved oxygen saturation. I'm supposed to be relaxed now while it's working. Takes a little bit, 10, 20, 100, almost got it. 70%, yeah, it takes a few minutes. It's a little boring. See, if you don't have one of these, you might want to buy the sensor for $65, especially if you have abuelos or people who are not as technical with the phones. But there we go. My stress level is a little up because I am trying to keep my energy up and be exciting for you, my viewer. But my blood oxygen level is back to 100%. Woohoo! Fully oxygenated. I actually worked out and did a 30-minute cardio workout yesterday, and at 15 minutes in, my blood oxygen dropped to 97%, and at the end of 40 minutes, I was down to 96%. So I just found that interesting. Take it for what it's worth. This is not medical advice, and I am by far not qualified as a doctor. So these are just suggestions. Please don't sue me for any of this. But what I read on the Henry Ford symptoms log is that if your blood oxygen gets below 94%, that's when you know you've got another problem. Just like when you've got a high fever or a low body temperature, it becomes a problem. 99, 100, if it's over 100 or below 98, you got big problems, and you know that then it's time to notify and get additional medical help, whether that's calling 911, calling your doctor, or activating the new types of telehealth applications that are available to help us fight this disease. So, the oximeter is the one that's really the backup to the thermometer to keep your health, because I know a lot of people have tried to tough this out, and I know some people, especially in Miami, are very stubborn, very prideful, like, I don't need help, I don't like hospitals, they're just here to rip us off. And so they want to tough it out, but they don't keep track of their health, and they don't know at what point they don't have to be tough anymore, and they need to call in additional support. So I like having these baselines because, again, they're objective, and they help me make this decision before I'm ever faced with actually making this decision for my family. So if you are a medical professional and have any suggestions, again, please leave them in the comment section. So the tools you already have, you just have to learn how to use them. So get your phone out and see if you can figure out how to do this as a little research project, right? The next thing that people need that you may not have stocked up on, because it's not toilet paper, it's electrolytes. Just like with the flu, it's very easy to become dehydrated. So you can stock up on Gatorade, but it's big, it's bulky, and it takes up a lot of space. And Gatorade and all the sports drinks are also filled with sugar, and you don't really need the sugar. I certainly don't need the sugar. I have lost a pound though so far in quarantine, so proud of myself. I want to keep that up. So on Amazon, there's a great product called Nuun tablets, N-U-U-N. And they come in a little capsule. They look like an Alka-Seltzer, and you just dissolve one in 12 to 16 ounces of water, and boom, you've got a powerful electrolyte drink without any sugar and without storing a lot of space, and it's shelf stable for a long time. These are now also part of my hurricane kit, because if a hurricane hits us and we got to work outside in the summer cleaning debris, fixing our house, dehydration becomes another problem, so I always want to keep some of these in stock in my household. And now it's also important for the flu, and now for COVID-19. So electrolytes are something else that I've added to my preparator list so that I keep them in stock in my house, and I always have extra. Right? The next thing I'm doing that's a little over the top, but I'm a cautious person, especially since I work from my house. In my office, I'm going to be adding a Hepa air filter with UV light. And that is an air purifier that can purify around 700 square feet of space, can purify all the air in 4 hours. My office is 120 square feet. So my goal is to be able to refresh the air almost every hour just in my office to keep me and my clients safe. Along with disinfecting any of the furniture that they touch, I feel when I'm able to reopen that I'll be able to keep myself, my family, and my clients protected. Now that air purifier is going to be just standard issue here in my office, but it serves another purpose. If one of my family members comes down with COVID-19, they're going to be isolated in a room, and that air purifier is going in that room to help them fight it and to help keep that air clean in that room, because eventually that air is going to escape. And I want to make sure that the particles are not leaving, because we don't want to wear masks if we're in our house. So that brings me to my last item on the list, which is plastic sheeting, right? The painter sheeting, it's usually 4 mil thick, comes on a big roll, and then as you unroll it, you stretch it all out. You've probably used it if you've painted a room or if you've had dusty, dirty work done in your house. You should also have this as part of your hurricane preparation if you're a homeowner, in case you have a hole in the wall or a broken window or even a hole in the roof. You can use the plastic sheeting to fix the hole and seal it until you can do a more permanent, long-lasting repair. Ooh, also for your car, right? Don't forget that a roof tile, something comes off your car, a tree limb, breaks the car window, you want some plastic sheeting to keep the water out until you can get the window replaced, and it may be a few weeks if we get hit hard from a hurricane. So that plastic sheeting can also be used with a little painter's tape to make a seal around the door. Put 2 layers over the door, cut a few holes in it, just like the freezer section at Costco, and then you can get things in and out, but that plastic will keep the air conditioning in that room and hopefully then force the air out a window or send the possibly contaminated air someplace where your family will not be breathing it in directly. Outside in the UV light sounds perfect to me. I don't want it coming in my home. So you want to keep the air conditioning on, obviously, to keep it comfortable, keep those people isolated. If you don't have a big home with a guest room or a spare room that you can use with the bathroom, which would be ideal, if you don't have that, the next best thing, you can use the plastic sheeting to either separate a room or keep a family member isolated in a certain part of the house so that they don't have to go to the hospital. I love our medical staff, they're overwhelmed, and if things get really bad, I'm going to use the medical system. But the fact that they are overwhelmed with this, I want to keep any of my family members home and under my control as long as I can do that safely. And if I have to quarantine or isolate, I'd rather do it in my home than to do it in a hospital, or if the government sets up a quarantine facility where you have to go there by yourself. So these are important facilities, but again, I like to stay home and try that first. So these are the things that I am preparing for now in my household to be ready for when we reopen our economy for COVID-19. And again, those things are first printing out a symptoms log. I'll put the link in the comment section below. Thermometer for checking temperature. The oximeter, either you can buy one or use the one that probably already on your cell phone. You're having electrolytes on hand, having an air purifier in the house, and then plastic sheeting if I need to make a quarantine or isolation room, containment room if you will. So those are my tips on getting ready for the next phase of dealing with COVID-19 as a family member. So I hope these were helpful to you. Look forward to reading your comments. Again, if this video was helpful, please get a like, feel free to subscribe, and get notified of any of my future videos. My name is Matthew Holscher. If you need help with your relationship, feel free to contact me anytime if you need help with your communication skills, letting go of resentments, and feeling loved again in your relationship. I'm the founder of Parent Marriage Coaching. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a great day.